Hey, everybody ready? Okay.
Well, I was going to give you an intro.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Gotta have an intro for Bob Meadows. Really? Right. Yeah. Does he need an intro? Maybe. I mean, everybody in here knows him. But anyway, thanks to everybody for joining us on Zoom and on YouTube. And we really appreciate you coming out here and being in the classroom. It's just a treat that you guys are here with us today, that you could be in the classroom. And thanks to Alex Kuhn for running this so that we could be in the classroom today. So thank you, Alex. Really appreciate that. So again, I mean, you guys all know Bob. Bob has been here almost since the beginning. He has been to in the high 20s of Stellafane. I think Carl Lancaster in the room has been to 41 Stellafanes. Yeah. Like, right. Phil Harrington at 53, maybe, I think 52, 53. So, I mean, really impressive that, and Stellafane, if you've never heard of it or don't know about it, is really where amateur astronomy was born. It's where people were taught how to grind mirrors for the first time, cheap glass, and then they started making telescopes out there. And before that, the telescope was in the lines of, it was for just the ultra wealthy could afford a telescope. And so Russell Porter at the time showed people how to make these very inexpensive telescopes. And amateur astronomy, as we know it today, really was born. And so the boom of people being able to look through telescopes inexpensively, to build them at home, to build them, and it took it away from the uber rich to just Joe Sixpack. And so that's what Stellafane's been all about. And this was the 89th convention this year of Stellafane, the Springfield telescope makers. So like we said, we've been going up there a lot. And one of the most interesting things is on Saturday mornings, they have the big telescope contest where they show all the home built stuff. Carl Lancaster has had his multiple versions of his 18s in there over many times and won a lot of awards over the years too at Stellafane. Many of our members have won a lot of awards up there. And so it is a really unique and interesting and crazy experience. And I think, you know, everybody should try and do that at some point. But you know, Bob's been going up there and he's been documenting these amazing telescope journeys that these people have, and our journey up there too. So please welcome back Observatory Director, Vice President, President of Vice, Bob Meadows.
Okay. Okay, thinking back, it was over 30 times that I've been to Stellafane. Yeah. Yeah, probably like 35, 37. Okay, Stellafane, the Astronomy Convention up in Springfield, Vermont, took place July 24th to the 27th. And to get there, you go up Route 91, and you can see from the mile marker, it's 41 miles into Vermont, to a little bit farther to the exit, then another few miles to get to the Breezy Hill, where they have the Stellafane. And this is waiting in line to get in. They have a little booth there where they come out and check that you're registered, and give you information. And a couple of days later, I took a picture of the booth. They call that the fruit stand. It looks like a fruit stand, but it's they use that every year for registration. And this is where we camp. Normally where that truck with the tent on top of it, that's where we normally set up our canopy. And we camp all around that. So this year, one of the people who was there prior to the convention getting things set up took that spot. And here you can see the 4 tents on the left are all members of our group. And this is my van where I slept. And we set up the canopy over here. This is where Rob Gausto normally camps. He's I think he was Phil Harrington's veterinarian, but he does a lot of camping and he has a big setup that he puts up. But this year he had a conflict with a family event, so he wasn't able to come. So that was a convenient spot. And this is Phil Harrington and Michael Southam and Carl Lancaster and Joe Paccione. And This is Friday morning, but Thursday night was clear and it was dry. We didn't even need dew heaters. And they do a observing Olympics where they have for telescopes they have a list of 30 objects, and you need to observe 15 of them to get a pin. There's also one for binoculars. And this is Carl Lancaster's partially covered telescope. And this is the 25 covered up. Why? Oh, yeah, we're covered. But it didn't rain. I mean, could have left it off. But everybody covers up their telescope because you never know. This is looking up the observing hill toward the McGregor Observatory with our 25 on the right edge there. Okay, and this is our canopy with the WAS banner attached to it. And just below that, there's this old steam shovel, and we overheard people saying that they're actually going to move that. It's been there for years and years.
It's going to be removed the Monday after.
Yeah,
So
were
it
they
should be gone.
were they going to scrap it or restore it? I don't know. Oh,
We're running to move on, so we just.
yeah. Oh, that's how you're going to remove it in pieces? Oh, that's nice to know. And Friday afternoon, they had a few talks. This is one on using your telescope for science, given by a member of IOTA, International Occultation Timing Association. And this is some of the projects that they've been working on. You can see on the right the occultations where they combine data from many occultations to get an outline of the asteroids. And this next talk was about nightscapes. I thought it would be a lot of pretty pictures, but it was mostly about choosing equipment to do nightscapes. This was a list of cameras. They did have a couple of pictures. This is one that was on Astronomy Picture of the Day in 2023.
That's a plane? That was a bolide. That looks like that's me. It's got a bird.
Yeah. And this was launch on Friday. That's Joe Pacione, Carl Lancaster, Martin Hamar, Ryan Kennedy, Carl Nielsen, Phil Harrington, me, and Michael Southam. And this is in the food tent at Stellafane. And on Friday night, they have a series of talks where anybody who wants to can give a 10-minute talk about any astronomy-related subject. But prior to that, they had a preview of this documentary about Stellafane. And it was a 40-minute preview, but when it's finished, it's going to be around an hour and a half. And they're going to try to get it on PBS maybe in about a year. This is a shot of part of that video. It's an aerial shot of the pink clubhouse and the turret telescope. And these are the actual Friday night talks. This was one given by a 13-year-old boy about the basics of adaptive optics. And this is a guy who built a replica of the Palomar Observatory, a scale replica. And these are the walls. And this is putting the dome and shutter on it. And this is the inside of it with the actual completed telescope. And it's a 16-inch Newtonian, but it looks like the 200-inch. And this was a talk about the inventions of Harkness and Porter. And this is one of the drawings of the Porter Garden telescope. And this was a guy who relocated from Connecticut to Massachusetts. And so he had to demolish his observatory in Connecticut and break up all the concrete and the pier. And then in Massachusetts, he built a new deck and pier and new walls, and he reused the dome part. And this is the final observatory. And this is a guy, a report on Dave Plancon of Clearwater, Maine. And I looked him up online. He died about a year ago, but he built mounts using plumbing parts and a lot of other household items. Here you see one that holds 2 telescopes, and it uses jars and jar lids and different parts. Doing economy astronomy. Yeah. And then Joe Rayo he gives a lot of talks on the eclipses. This is about the very first solar eclipse cruise in 1972.
Like Lusitania.
Not the Lusitania. They had trouble finding a cruise line that was willing to do it because they didn't know if the tickets would sell, but it actually sold out in about 2 months. And they went to the line that the eclipse was going to follow, and they moved up to a spot where it was an opening in the sky using satellite photography or photos. And Joe Rayo is a meteorologist, so he was assisting with that. And they got pictures of the total solar eclipse. And Friday night, this was the last talk. Friday night was clear, and on the observing Olympics, I had gotten 10 objects on Thursday. I only got 3 more on Friday. This year, a lot of the objects were really difficult. I was trying to look at 2 dark nebulas, and I was looking right at them. I couldn't see them. And there were some of the galaxies didn't rise till 3 or 4 in the morning. So anyway, I ended up with just 13. But on Saturday, they decided, since they hadn't given out very many pins, and it was going to be cloudy on Saturday, they said anybody who got 10 or more would get a pin. So Friday night we had good clear skies again. And this is Saturday morning. These are the Stellafane swap tables, where you can sell anything astronomy related, but they don't allow commercial sales. They have lots of books and telescopes and more telescopes. And this is Todd Nelson and Nate Nelson, who just came on Saturday, who was selling some eyepieces and binoculars there.
I don't recognize him. No,
Oh.
this is brothers. Josh Nelson is.
He's down in Houston, and he flies the ISS, and he's a flight director. So no, that's his brother and his son. They're
Three sons.
Yeah.
And
And then but Josh was
also the president of WASP: The Next Generation years ago when we had our kids club. So both Nate and Josh, lots of other kids were here for that back then. But yeah, that's Nate Nelson.
here's some tools and other items. This guy was selling all kinds of glass, but it actually, most of it was synthetic sapphire, which I didn't know you could get in large pieces. And this is Michael Southam buying some surplus telescopes to try to make large binoculars. Is that right? And okay, then it's about a 15-minute walk from our campsite over to Breezy Hill and the Pink Clubhouse. This is the road that goes from where the fruit stand is over to the Breezy Hill.
It's uphill in both directions.
Yeah. And this is approaching. And this guy on the left with the shiny telescope. This is a 5.5-inch. I don't know what happened. Somehow the picture got shifted. Anyway, it's a 5.5-inch f6.5 refractor. And it's, some of it is polished aluminum, but I think the main tubes are chrome plated. but it's on an alt-az go-to mount. So when you're competing with the telescopes, you have to make the mount and the tube assembly. So this would be in a separate category in a special category, not the telescope. So he didn't actually win any awards with it. He had it pointed at the sun with a filter. And yeah, I did. Yeah, I saw the sun for. He's from Belgium, but he now lives in Massachusetts. And this is a 180 millimeter f2.77, which is about 7 inches. It's a 7 element with all spherical, and it uses some of the mirrors are silvered on the back, so it acts like a mirror and a lens. And he got an award for the dust cover, dew cover. And here you can see the front of it. Those all can close down to act like a dust cover. And when they're open, it's a dew shield, and they're motorized. He had entered something very similar to this a few years ago, but this is an upgraded version. But here again, he used a commercial mount.
What a neat idea, though.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he doesn't have any plans for a company to manufacture it. So I think it may be. Yeah, it's very sharp.
I don't think you need to
Eat that, would you? Sure you would. Why not? Why would you not? Purdue, you mean? Yeah, Purdue. I don't know, because it's, I mean, you keep the corrector plate Purdue. I don't know if you keep the flaps Purdue, would you?
Not the flaps.
The rim. Yeah, the rim, yeah, for sure.
Okay, this is a telescope made by Mario Moda, and he actually has a very large telescope in a dome on top of his house. But he made this to take the star parties. It's a 12-inch f4 Newtonian. And this is a 10-inch f3.3. So that the F number, just like the F number on a camera lens, a smaller number gives you a brighter image, and you can do shorter exposures and also a shorter tube. The focal length is the diameter multiplied by the F number. So this would be 33-inch focal length. And this tied for 3rd place for mechanical design. It looks like it was like the wooden pieces were all machine cut with like a numerical machine or something. Yeah, I'm not sure if that's the actual mirror. Yeah, you can see through it, and it looks frosted. So I don't know. Maybe there's a cover on it, or maybe it's a substitute. Oh,
I go with work in progress.
okay. Yeah. And this guy entered just the optical competition. So he made mirrors for both these telescopes, a 10-inch f5.6 and a 6-inch f7.4. There's a close-up of the smaller one. And this is one that was just on display. It was a 10-inch f6 on a ball mount from 2009. And with a ball mount, you can point in any direction, plus you can rotate the tube to put the eyepiece at a convenient height.
That's the way you got that stand from.
I don't know.
It's gonna say the Russians.
Did he show how that locks in place, Bob?
What?
Did he show how that thing locks in place so it doesn't rotate in the middle of your observing?
Gravity, right? Just pulls in place. Is it just sitting on something? Yeah, it looks like Teflon pads.
Yeah, it looks like there are 3 Teflon pads, and there's probably just enough friction.
Just friction.
Yeah. They probably have some counterweights behind the mirror to put the center of gravity near the center of the sphere. Okay, this one, Susan Stone made this telescope, and she went away with a lot of awards. It's a 6-inch f5.4, and she made the mirror, and she got 2nd in mechanical design and 1st in craftsmanship and an Innovative Component Award for clear clock cover desk covers, which I didn't actually see the covers, but we have some pictures on the Stellafane website. The rings there are embroidery hoops, the 4 wooden rings, and the top of the tripod is from the swivel part of an office chair. And she got an Innovative Component Award for attaching the optical tube to the second piece of wood there with window latches, like you'd have to hold your window shut. Also, the chain that holds the caps on the finder scope, it was an old necklace that was broken, so it was a piece of gold necklace. She also made this eyepiece case, and she won a special award for that, eyepiece and tool chest with a drawer in the bottom, and it's mahogany to match the telescope.
I mean, this is one of the greatest things about Stellafane is seeing things like this. This just what could be just scrap to anybody else is made into these beautiful instruments and ideas and thoughts. I mean, this is why Stellafane is so amazing. It's things like this.
And the hinges on the horizontal pieces connecting them to the legs, those are from indoor window louvers, like shutters on the inside of a window.
Yeah.
This one, as I was walking up, the guy was disassembling it, but there's a 10-inch f6, and it won first place for optical, third place tie for mechanical, and third place for craftsmanship. And so I didn't have a picture of it fully assembled, so I got one from the Stellafane website, and there he is with the telescope. It doesn't look that special, but it's I guess it has a lot of.
Third place for craftsmanship out of 3.
No, there were. I think there were a total of 22 entries. Not all were in mechanical. Anyone entered for mechanical. I guess it's sort of tricky to make a tweet.
The first place in craftsmanship.
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
follow that, you're right. And it's disassembled now.
Yeah.
Well, you can't see the details that they look at, I guess. And there's something called master class. If you've already won, say, a first place in the past, or if you're a professional optician or a professional woodworker, then you go into the master class. That's so that other people have a chance. We don't have the same people winning everything every year. And this is a 4¼ inch f4, and it won first place for optical in the master class and first place for mechanical in the optical class. And that's the man's daughter. He made this for his daughter.
What a cutie pie. That's a great picture too. Yeah, that's a really good picture.
And instead of having a focuser that moves the eyepiece in and out, the eyepiece and diagonal move together along the length of the tube, and the little knob on the right turns a screw to move it for focusing. And there's the girl's name is Madeline, and it says Madeline Scope on top of it. Oh, one thing I didn't mention, for transport, the legs fold up. So you put the telescope vertical and fold the legs up to make it into a compact package. Okay, this one, it was built in 1981. So at first I thought it was an antique restoration, but it was built by a guy from Los Angeles, Tim Parker. And so it's never been to Stellafane before. And so it was entered as in the telescope competition. It's a Springfield Mount, an 8-inch f6 Newtonian on a Springfield Mount. And it won first in mechanical design and second in craftsmanship. And the eyepiece is, well, the optical path goes from the bottom up, and then there's a diagonal mirror going to the eyepiece, which is right here. And the eyepiece is in the same position no matter where the telescope is pointed.
The reason that they made those.
Is for, there was a guy that was in a wheelchair that he couldn't be an astronomer anymore. He couldn't use telescopes. So they developed this Springfield Mount in Springfield, Vermont, for the guy in the wheelchair, because the eyepiece doesn't move, but the rest of the telescope does. So he could still observe by using this very unique, very interesting mount. So it's just fascinating. I mean, it's so clever. Do they still have the one in the dome? The white
Yeah,
dome?
yeah. I didn't look in there, but they were operating it some.
There's not a lot of Springfield mounts out there, but
But this is probably the most beautiful version I've ever seen of one.
Can I ask the question, what does the light come in this?
Oh, I think he had a cover on it, but where that top cover comes off. Another thing interesting, it's a 9-sided tube. I kept counting the sides. There are 9 sides, not 8.
9-sided. Why the hell did they do that? Yeah, because
It does give you, you have 3 points
for collimating the primary. There you can see on the lower right, you can see there are 3 screws there. I think that's for collimation.
I noticed there are a lot of
wood telescopes here this year. Why is wood? I mean, wood outside is not a good idea.
That's not true.
Oh, man, we finished 8 teak furniture outdoors, and you don't wanna have wood outside.
Well, you don't leave it outside.
Well, that's it, you gotta haul it, and that stuff's heavy.
This picture is from the Stellafane website, and you can see the eyepiece. The eyepiece there, and then on the right is the eyepiece for the finder scope.
that looks like it's got some years.
that's right.
That was
81. So yeah.
It's pretty.
Okay, and this one is an antique restoration. This won the Antique Restoration Award. It's a 6-inch f12 refractor.
Wow.
Lots of brass. And here you can, these are setting circles with it engraved with the numbers on the circles.
That's beautiful.
And this is some of our group. That's me, Joe Pacione, Brian Kennedy, Carl Lancaster, and Martin Hamar in front of the Pink Clubhouse. And they had a display of rocketry. It was pretty interesting. Some big rockets. And I was asking them how they recover these. And what it does, it goes at the highest point, it puts out a small parachute, and it drops down to 800 feet, then puts out a larger parachute. So it doesn't blow miles and miles like you would think. Okay, this is a travel imaging setup. And the case, the black case there, I think that also some of the red parts were 3D printed, and it used harmonic drive motors. I'm not sure exactly what that is, but I guess they're expensive, and I got them government surplus. And this tied for 2nd place for the special award. So he has 2 cameras, two cameras with lenses on them. So it looks like the one on the right is the more powerful one, and maybe the left one is used for as a finder scope or for wide field. And there's another shot of it showing a little more detail. And there you can see the 2 motors, one here and one here.
What is a harmonic?
What does a harmonic drive do?
Typically, you just, it's the fact that to a certain point doesn't need counterweights.
That's
It's those ones that you see, the newer ones, with a little box,
Yeah.
no counterweights, just a high torque servo motor.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So it's fancy metals.
And there you can see his computer and the the case that it packs into and the battery pack.
There's some harmonic drives.
Oh, yeah. There you go. Thank you, ZWO.
Oh. This is an adjustable observing chair, and I've seen this design before, but I think this probably has some features that made it especially good. It won it tied for the second place in the special award. The special award is for something that's not a complete telescope. And this was an antique restoration that was just on display. This was made in England, and it's a 4-inch f/15 Newtonian. And this is a view of the field, showing some of the telescopes.
Yeah, was this well attended or not?
There were a lot of people on the observing field, but and a big crowd at the swap tables. So it seems fairly. What? 900. Okay. They usually don't give out those numbers. Years ago, everybody used to say there were 2,000 people there, but I don't know if that was ever true. This was Saturday lunch, and this is at the food tent. And here you can see where you line up and then order your food. And the preparation is in a permanent building, and they have the tent set up for the tables and chairs. Then Saturday afternoon, they have a series of lectures scheduled. And yeah, oh yeah, that's coming up. This one is Mario Moda, and he was talking about southern objects, or things you can't see from here.
Said things you can't see.
But he said, if you do go down south, don't look at M42. Look at the stuff that you can't see from here. I didn't see the whole talk. I just saw the end of it.
There was some nap time.
I'm sure they did. No, I was awake. I just
studying
Some eyelids.
I never saw the end of it. And this is the introduction to Phil Harrington's talk. WAS is the history of the Westport Astronomical Society. And this is the beginning of his talk, wearing his WAS t-shirt.
Is that old WAS t-shirt?
No, he made it's a replica of the old one. Recreation, yeah.
1975 to 2025 on the shirt. So
That's the one, the foresight.
Just like the title there, 1975 to 2025. On Saturday evening, they have a special barbecue chicken dinner, and you also have a choice of getting ribs instead of chicken. And it used to be a really good bargain, but this year it was $26.99, which is pretty high. But it was good. It was very good. And there was no observing Saturday night due to clouds. Carl Nielsen helped me load up the 25, so I'd be able to leave early on Sunday. And Saturday night they have the talks, and one of the first things they do is the raffle. And one of our members, Al Papson, won the second prize, which is 4 Nagler eyepieces. And there's the list. There's a 19 millimeter, 14 millimeter, 9 millimeter, and 5.5 millimeter.
Black Owl. Hang on.
And this was the keynote speaker, Astronomy Without Light, Revealing the Unseen Universe, by Stefan Sakula of Queen's University. And he was talking about cosmic rays and dark energy. And this is a picture of one of the detectors, and this gets submerged in liquid helium. so it's really cold. And the crystals will vibrate or ring like a bell when struck by dark matter, a dark matter particle, which they've never detected a dark matter particle. So and this is all done deep underground in a mine in a clean room. When they get down there, they have to shower and put on the clean suits and go into this clean room. And I don't remember where it was exactly. What?
Sudbury, Ontario.
Oh, okay.
Where's that?
It's not very Ontario.
And the Connecticut Star Party is coming up September. Oh, the following morning, it did start raining. I think it was around 8:30 or 7:30, around 7:30, and I left at 8 o'clock. So because I had almost everything packed up, I was able to leave early. Connecticut Star Party is coming up in about 4 weeks, September 19th to the 21st. And next year, Stellafane will be mid-August, August 13th to the 16th. Okay, that's all I have.
Any questions for Bob on the inner tubes?
Good job. Bob, on the others.
Good job, Bob.
We appreciate that.
Oh,
That's why I joined this organization. Your
Oh,
participation.
really?
Right.
Yeah, well, thanks for coming to member.
Input as to what our
Convention, so thank you very much. We appreciate you.
Oh.
All of you, thank you for all coming. And if you do want to end up with Stellafane, or you want to come visit, we'd be glad to have you. We don't just have convention and then go home. We're there pretty much all year. So you can, a little rough in January and February.
You like ready to go up?
Yes.
In October or something?
Absolutely. We'll be the up all night star party in October, I think October 4th.
Wow.
So to be a member of Springfield, you do
Have to make a mirror at some point, right?
To be a member of the Springfield Telescope Makers, first of all, you got to put in elbow grease. You got to work.
Yeah.
And then you become an associate member. And then after a year, if you've made your own optic, we can vote you in as a full member. But yes, making an optic is one of our requirements. Absolutely.
It's a good requirement.
I've tried to make a few mirrors, but they never quite come to full fruition. But
So we do have a telescope making workshop where we do make optics and we help people through the process.
How long does it take to grind a mirror?
I figure about 40 hours of pushing glass over glass.
40 hours.
But I mean,
Yeah, we're
remember Zane, he had made a machine that
What Zane's machine, and I installed it to Mike O'Gara, who's one of those gentlemen that you saw in the photo.
Did it spontaneously combust on you or?
No,
It's a good machine. I thought it was great.
it was a mirror-o-matic. It was fine. I personally, we have one at Stellafane, but I like to work with hands because you can make a really good optic with your hands. You know, you think about the tolerances. You talk about a fraction of a wave of light. The diameter of a hydrogen atom is about an angstrom, which is about 1/10 of a nanometer. We're talking about optics that are, if you're looking at, screen light, maybe what, 560 nanometers, 1/10 of that is 56 nanometers. That's 560 diameters of a hydrogen atom. Those are the tolerances that we're looking at that you can achieve working in your garage
No kidding, yeah.
by hand. So if anybody is interested in making an optic, please reach out for me. My name's Francis O'Reilly and I'm now a member here. I'm looking forward to signing up to your telescope class.
Do you live in this area or you come down from Vermont?
No, I go up to Vermont about every other week, but I live in Richfield.
Oh, okay.
Great. Well, thanks for joining.
Thanks.
That's great. Thank you.
Thanks for having me.
no, it's great. We're here because we do love Stellafane. We've gone there. So I think I'm like maybe 12, 13 times. I've stat out a couple. And,
it up.
yeah, I got a few in there. And
Good chunk of this room's been there.
yeah, and it is a special place. And like what I was saying too, it really was the beginning of amateur astronomy. It opened up the world to millions of people to learn how to look at the sky and do it inexpensively. So yeah, it's a special place. with a lot of special people, and we just love Stellafane. So thanks for coming down here, Francis, and being a part of that club too.
Yeah, it's a community, it's a lifestyle.
It is.
You know, those of us that are there, you know, they're deeply involved in it, have been deeply involved for many years, and we're getting older. So we're looking for
New blood.
younger members.
Like, this would be a good place.
Last meeting in Springfield.
We do it once a month in Springfield, yes.
Like, I mean, I do not, like, I'm doing my PhD right now, sorry to take the room, but I'm in a cohort with a bunch of other astrophysicists who mostly work in observation. But I'm sure some of them would actually I would love to do it, I'm
Come
sure.
up and play with us.
Yeah.
And come up and observe in our Porter Observatory, which you were asking about earlier, which we use regularly.
Do you have any, I'm into astrophotography. I know you have a really nice refractor in that pink building. I hooked up to it one year at Stellafane.
Was the Shipman.
Is that what
You're
it's
talking
called?
about the Shipman and the McGregor, which is
Yeah.
a high.
The Shipman's that big the white building
No,
behind the top of
The
the.
pink
the top of the hill, it was a roll off.
Yes,
Yeah, that's the Shipman.
that's the Shipman telescope. We have 3 telescopes in the pink building.
Because getting my camera on something like that for a planetary or something like that would be just astounding.
We use it for astrophotography all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah. If it's a clear Saturday, come up and play with us.
The Shipman's like
Oh.
an F-15 or
I
F-20.
would love to do
I
that.
think it's
That's a lot closer than
That's
Cherry
actually-
Springs.
Top of my head,
Yeah.
it's
I mean-
3 hours from here.
Yeah, I just said, he wants to drive us out to Cherry Springs, which is closer to 7.
Well, that Shipman is the planetary telescope.
Yeah, I know, I got Saturn in it when I was there. And what, 21 maybe, just before, is that when we were there?
Yeah, just reach out to me and I'll
Dan, you have his contact info?
Well,
I'll give you my contact information.
Brilliant, thank you.
The other thing too, are you guys still doing,
I didn't go this year, but is there still a way to silver your mirror? That was,
You know, that's an interesting question. We had been doing some silvering, yes, and you know, that's, you know, the explosive chemicals and all, that's a lot of fun. We just obtained from Tony Perea, who sets up right by where you guys camp,
right?
a very large vacuum coating system that we're in the final stages of putting together. So we will be doing that, but we're probably going to limit it to people that have made their optics with us, because we don't really want to compete with Jeff Decker at Majestic or Mr. Klausing in Skokie, Illinois. You know, they're out making a living on this stuff, but yes, we do have the ability to do that for people that make their optics with us.
Well, we need to code our 25, so we're really ready to put a new coating on the 25 one of these days.
Boy, you know, that's gonna be a tough
That's a
project.
beast. That's
That's a big vacuum
Right,
chamber.
yeah, I know. I don't know where to ship that, but that is in the future. We gotta drive it someplace to do it now, because we can't ship it. And the last time we shipped it, UPS barely would insure it. So if you can't insure that, then
You might want to reach out for Tony at Spectrum Thin Films on Long Island. He might be able to help you out.
we could fly it. Yeah, you could fly it, yeah. Yeah, Alex was a pilot. No, America is, I've pulled as many strings with as many people as I could to try and get our friends up there, but they're not prepared to do that. I pulled all the strings.
yes.
No candy. Any other questions for Bob, for Mr. Meadows, anything?
What was your favorite part?
Yeah, what's your favorite part of the Stellafane? From all the rest that you get at the talks.
Where's your favorite?
Well, I don't know, seeing the telescopes and the observing its amazing dark skies. I was looking at all these faint objects on the list, which is sort of fun to do the competition, but then I switched to looking at some of the showpiece objects like the lagoon and M11 and some of the other nice objects, and that's nice.
Stellafane is, I think, really up their game with their not only just the Stellafane Olympics, but the binocular Olympics. So with that, I mean, you really do get off the beaten path with this lovely list of difficult objects to get, particularly if you're you want to go to, or if you have binoculars. So Phil puts together the binocular list. How many objects on that, Michael? 20? 25 objects maybe on that. And then I think 25 objects as well for the Stellafane Olympics, which changes every year too. And you get a pin for each one of those that you compete or complete. And that's really, and other than the people and hanging out and just being a pinhead and doing stuff, you know, that's my favorite thing, is to go through that, doing the binocular Olympics with you and you know, Phil and the rest of the crew. And that's a lot of laughs. I mean, cellophane is fun no matter what you do with it. And there's always kind of something new and interesting to try there. But, and then Bob gets his rest. Thank you, Bob. Bob Meadows. Yay, Bob. We'll see you again next month. Thanks, everybody.
Hopefully here.
Oops. Yes.